Welcome back, America. We're here with Mark Penn, former Clinton advisor and pollster, Wall Street Journal opinion columnist. Mark Penn, you strike me as a sort of a moderate, common-sense Democrat from the old school. I mean, after all, you work with Clinton. Do you think Bill Clinton could get the Democrat Party nomination today, given how extreme the Democrat Party has become?
Well, look, we're going to see that in a couple of years. It doesn't look that way by everything that you're seeing happening in the Democratic Party, because it's being led by cities in which people to the extreme left are really getting elected and are getting kind of all of the play. They call themselves democratic socialists. They're not Democrats, and they've been allowed to burrow their way into the Democratic Party. And so all of those things that President Clinton stood for, certainly a rational budget policy, expanding health care, education, normal things that you would think a party would stand for, are being gradually replaced by more and more extreme politics that, frankly, the Democratic Party should wall themselves off for, rather than being fearful of and accepting.
I mean, you have a guy running in New York who's a Marxist and an Islamist and an anti-Semite, and his father is that and even more. And you have a Jewish senior senator from New York who won't condemn him. He doesn't endorse him, but he won't condemn him. Isn't this the time for people of goodwill to stand up and reject this right now, just as the Republicans rejected years ago, the John Birch Society and so forth and so on? Why aren't the Democrats, the leadership, I'm not talking about Bernie Sanders and his ilk, I'm talking about the others, why aren't they condemning this guy full-throated?
Well, because they think that this is the new politics that is their way of getting to 51%. And of course, it's the opposite. The Democratic Party has the lowest ratings in probably the history of polling, right? And they are shrinking in numbers, being seen as going too far to the left. And look, you're exactly right. This would be the time for moderate Democrats to stand up and say, we don't believe in anti-Semitism. We don't believe in the Intifada. We don't believe in socialism. We don't believe in the things that the Democratic Socialists believe in. That's not our party, but that's not what they're doing. They're cowering in fear. They are afraid of primaries where they'll be knocked off, afraid of losing their jobs. And so maybe Senator Fetterman is almost the remaining exception here, who's really willing to speak out and say he is not with them.
Yeah, I can't think of many more. Certainly in the Senate, I can't think of anyone else, quite frankly. In fact, you have people who are elected, like Slotkin from Michigan, who campaigned as a moderate. She's moving hard left now, and others like her moving hard left. You got this guy, Tim Kaine, in my state in Virginia, who always used to pose as a moderate. He's moving hard left now. I guess my question to you is this. If the party moves hard left and you have a big win in New York, aren't the party regulars at the top level, the DNC, going to get the wrong message from this?
Yes, they are going to get the wrong message. And don't forget that in, I think, 1972 and 1984, the Democratic Party managed to reduce itself to a single state. It could do that again. And that's what it takes to come back and get recentered. That may just happen again.
Well, in my view, I hope that's right, because that'll correct things. But I'm concerned that this Marxism, Islamism has grown. And when we return, I want to talk to you about this growing anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party. Don't get me wrong. On the extreme edges of the Republican Party, it's there with these podcasters who call themselves influencers. But it's not there with the base of the Republican Party. It seems to me it's growing in the base of the Democrat Party. I want to address this when we come back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.